All right, guys, welcome back. So I did a little bit more testing today with this gyro issue. I don't think there's anything wrong with the gyro. I took the gyro to an airplane that has a Cortex in it, unplugged both gyro or both leads to the power, and both receivers, plugged it right into the gyro that I'm trying to use. Well, it was actually that gyro, but it was doing the same thing as this one. And I went through the learn of the receiver and then the teaching, and it worked just fine. So there is something in this setup in here that is causing it not to work. Like I said, I can go through the receiver learn. It puts it in the S-bus mode, dual receivers. I can do the control teach. It flashes green like it's perfect. You pull the jumper off, power it down, power it back up, and it just flashes white, like it's looking for the controls to be neutral, which I don't know. But I don't think there's anything wrong. So I just went back to the conventional setup. Receivers are plugged into the power box. I'm not tied into the gyro right now. I don't need it to fly the daggum jet. I didn't fly gyros for like 25 years, so it's fine. I will eventually get back to it and hopefully can figure it out when I just need to sit down and just like go through it and figure out what's going on, because it's going to drive me nuts if I don't. So plus I want it on this jet too, and I'm going to have the same setup on this jet, so it'll be interesting to see. And that one will have a Cortex with the same setup. So yeah, I got to figure it out, because I have the same setup I'm using in this one that I'll use in those in my F-14, and it works just fine. My last F-22, same setup, worked just fine. So there's something I'm missing. I don't know. And I am in S-bus 1, before anybody asked. I am in S-bus 1, so, but anyways. So I got everything plugged in like I wanted. I went back and I redid all the programming. I made the leading edge flaps and the trailing edge flaps all one channel. I will adjust endpoints, midpoints, and throws in the servos. That way I freed up 3 channels. And everything else is there. You can kind of see it there. And rudders are not plugged in, and the stabs are not plugged in, but you can see the thrust vectoring working. There we go. And then I went back to my original setup on the canopy, since I have the spare channels now. So I'm on a 3-position switch. So first position lowers the canopy, but it's not locked. As you can see here, it opens up a little bit. Third switch locks the canopy. Mid position unlocks, and then open. And because I did the flaps, everything else has its own channel except for the flaps. I was able to only utilize the MPDX1 for the light controller. So I used one port, channel 9, on the actual battery backer, which gives you 8 extra channels, but you're kind of limited on programmability. So I plugged the light in and got it working. I can't even explain how to set that thing up. It's stupid. It's weird how it works. Like the landing gear, when you try to just assign it a switch, it doesn't turn the light on. You have to adjust the curve on it to make it where it comes on. It's weird. So once I figured that out, I could actually set up 2 switches if I want. Well, yeah, 3 really. I could have the slime lights cut on and off by themselves. I can have the landing light cut off, and then I can have them cut off completely. So what I did is I set it up to do 2. So when the lights come on and gear down, everything comes on. So slime lights are on. Kind of see them there, hard to see, but they're glowing. And then landing lights on. And then when I put the gear up, the gear's not going to move. It's in the up position right now because it's out of air, but the landing light cuts off. So gear down, landing light comes back on. And then if I want to cut them all off, just flip the switch up like that. It's on a 2 position, so. It's works on 7.4 volts. Their light controller is 7.4 volts. So that is it. It is essentially done. Only thing I have to do now is I've got to mount the batteries up here. The 2 power system batteries are 100% going to be in the nose. And the light battery is one that I'll move around to kind of help with CG. I'm pretty sure the turbine batteries are going to be up here too, just to make CG. Most of my weight was in the nose, or all my weight was in the nose on my last one, and I didn't have the carbon fiber rotors on it. So the carbon fiber rotors are even heavier. So I will probably have to take, because I had some batteries pushed back a little bit to CG it, those would probably be moved forward at this point to get the same CG. But CG, we know anything from 285 to 295 is good. I had my last one like 285-ish, and it was fine. I think I'm going to go to 290 this time and leave it there. So, and I'll do a little rudder toe in. I probably won't maiden it that way, just so I can adjust it. I don't know. No, I'm going to go ahead and put the toe in for the maiden because it just needs to be trimmed with it in like that. So, and that's why I wanted each rudder to have its own channel so I could do the toe in mixing. So, but that's it. So essentially at this point, it's just mounting the batteries. I got to plug in my telemetry into the receivers. I got to make the XT60 leads here for the turbines, and just mount batteries and CG, and then do final radio controls. Make sure everything's traveling the same. Set up my max throws. Make sure all my flaps are traveling the same amount of distance. They said only like 6 millimeters of travel for this. I'm not going to go with the factory on that. That's pointless to even use 6 millimeters of throw on your leading edge. The guy that has one of these in Dubai, he said about a centimeter and a half. So I'm going to have more than that. That's about a centimeter. So that's just under an inch. So I'll take a little throw out on the max. The reason being is, like, I don't know how it happens, but you end up rubbing on the wingtip. And I've never seen the wingtips actually touch. On my last one, never saw it touch, but somehow I still got flat spots multiple times, and I never actually saw the jet wingtip touch. So I don't know how it gets them. I don't know if it's the nose wheel compresses too much, but this one actually doesn't have as stiff struts as my last one, so they do give a little bit, which is nice. So it won't sit so nose low. So plus I'd rather have it have more of an attitude, positive attitude, to help it rotate. So and I did notice on this I got to go back and trim a little bit. I'm rubbing here. I didn't trim enough of the moon on the stab, so I do have to do that, fix that a little bit. But home stretch. So I'm gonna probably not gonna do too much tonight. They had to come and redo this first part of the floor. I'm not really happy with what they've done, but it looks like 2 floors to me. I'm just so disgusted with these guys. They've been out here like 6 times trying to fix my floor. Anyways, but I gotta, once that's dry, I gotta remove stuff around. Everything's coated with dust from them sanding that, so I gotta clean up some stuff a little bit. So I'm just running my Jap. So you guys have a good evening, and like I said, I'm gonna the next video on this will be, probably CGing it for you guys. So, and then I'm ready to get on to some bigger projects. I'll probably start with the Viper, because it's at the point now where everything's installed, like servos. Now I have the motor. So I got to install the motor, and then it's just final setup on that. And then I'll jump on the SU. So got a lot to do before Kentucky Jets. But yeah, I asked about on the turbine about running 4% on Jet Air Caro. The Andy up in with Schwewin USA, he said stick to 5%. So I'll do 5%. It just sucks because all my other motors are 4%, but it is what it is. I'll just do a separate jug. So you guys have a good one, and I'm gonna get back to it. Cheers.